Hey, y'all, and welcome to Routeless, the podcast for the career dreamers, the late bloomers, and the what am I doing with my life crowd. I'm your host, Grace Kasprak, and here we get real about the messy, winding, and totally unpredictable journey of figuring it all out. Each week, I sit down with someone who's somewhere along the path, some who found their path, and some who are still paving it. And we talk about the real stuff, doubt, risk, passion, purpose, all of it. So if you're craving clarity, connection, or just a reminder that you're not alone in this, you're in the right place. So let's get into it. Well, hey, Alex.
Hi.
Welcome to Routeless.
I'm so happy to be here.
Well, we're happy to have you. Well, I'm happy to have you.
Yeah.
We're a team. It's
Yeah.
literally me. I'm
Yes.
happy to have you on the podcast.
Yeah.
Alex is one of my really good friends here in Charlotte, and she is very wise beyond her years.
Thank you.
Not in the wrinkles, but in the
In the
brain.
mind.
In the
I
brain.
have a lot of brain wrinkles. We'll call it that.
There you go.
I like that.
So let me just give you a little rundown of what this podcast is.
Yeah.
So Rootless Podcast, it's spelled Routeless.
Yeah.
So Routeless, however you want to say it, is basically a place where I feel everyone can come. I feel like at 18 years old, I had no clue what I was doing, nor do I think any 18-year-old
No, I did not.
should know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And so I would have benefited really greatly
Yeah.
from sitting down and being able to not only get like a little synopsis of what people do for their job, but then also how did you get here? But then also for those individuals that just like are not sure what we're doing yet, which is
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're 20 or you're 18 or
Yeah.
if you're 60. No one knows what they're doing.
True.
And so just being able to like hear that and just recognize that like life's gonna go where it goes,
True.
I think would have taken a big weight off my shoulders. I think there's that question that looms over everyone's head all the time is like, I should know what I'm doing and I don't feel like I do. So what do
True.
I do?
Yeah. Very true.
So anyway, that's a little bit of the podcast, why we're here today. But yeah, Alex, I thought would be a great first person to come on.
Yeah.
And just go from there. So
Let's do
Alex, if you want to give like a little rundown, who
Like,
you
who
are.
is this girl?
Yeah, what'd you do?
Yeah, well, my name is Alex. Nice to meet you. We
Nice to
Yeah,
virtually meet
nice
you.
to meet you. Yeah, I am from Mississippi. I feel like normally it's like what the 1, 2, 3 of who you are is like where you're from, what you do, what do you like doing maybe. So yeah, my name is Alex. I'm from Mississippi, small town, well, relatively small. I moved to North Carolina in high school, and I currently work in ministry, like at a church, which has like, if you would have asked me that, are you kidding? No way. I've been doing that for about 3 to 4 years, like
That's
give or
crazy.
take, you know. I know. Yeah, I went to school. I got my biology degree. I minored in psych, and I'm just, figuring it out still. But at the same time, I'm just surprised at what I'm doing right now and learning. But it's been a wild ride. I'm married. Crazy, a year and a half. He also works in ministry, which similarly he's like, what?
Y'all
He's
also
wait, why?
when people meet you,
Yeah.
I feel like there's a very typical vibe that comes along with people that work in ministry. It's like
Yeah.
within 3 minutes of having a conversation with them, they've made it known. You and your husband are not like that at all. Like, I could have known you for so long.
Yeah.
And if we never touched what do you do, I would
You
have
would not
never
known.
guessed.
Yeah.
I would have never guessed that you or
Yeah.
Ethan were in ministry.
Yeah. We're just like breaking the stereotype out here. It's like, why does it have to be weird? I don't get it.
I agree. No, I 100%
Like,
agree.
why are people making it so weird? It's just like,
Everyone believes something, whether
Yeah.
it's like whether you're working ministry for like Christianity or whether you're
Yeah.
working ministry for like, I don't know, Buddhism. Like,
yeah.
everyone believes something. Someone has to do the work.
Yeah. Someone's got to do it.
Someone literally has to do the work.
And like
so.
we all are in some way involved with ministry, quote unquote.
Yeah.
I just vocationally do it. So it's just like Some people have podcasts. Like some people are just own a store and they still are ministering to people. It just so happens that I do it at the location that's stereotypically involved in ministry, quote unquote. So, but it's been a wild ride. I'm still figuring it out, but that's currently my state of being currently.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah.
So let's run back. So you said originally we were from Mississippi. Honestly, I don't even know if I remembered you were from Mississippi, to be quite frank.
Quite honestly, I think I try and forget. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. Very, very Southern. I pride myself in the fact that I lost my Southern accent. It used to be very
That's hard
thick.
to do.
Yeah.
That's hard to do.
It took a lot of training. No, just kidding. I really, naturally, I think I lost it. And I still go back to it sometimes.
There's like certain words.
Yeah.
And certain people, I feel like if you're around a person that has a really heavy one, it's like, like it takes it out of my soul, you know? It's like, it's so deep in there, but like you're going to bring it out.
Yeah. So I mean, most of my family still is there, like extendedly. But my mom was a travel nurse. So yeah, we relocated to North Carolina. And she really single-handedly like made enough money for me and my sisters to come out. So yeah, that's crazy. She's our entrepreneur. Yeah. Just coming out here and just, bringing us to a whole nother culture. Like it was a culture shock. Let me put it into context. I thought Chipotle was like a ritzy store, like a ritzy kind of like fast food place.
That's fair.
Because I'm like, we didn't have one.
Yeah.
And that was back when Vine was a thing. And so
I loved Vine.
Where like Chipotle is live. And like I only thought it was like in LA and New York or something. And I also am like, everyone wears school uniforms to school. And because that's all I knew. Yeah. And I'm like, why do the movies always have them like doing these like, how do you have 10 minutes in the hallway to just chat with people? And then I went to school in North Carolina. I was like, wait, I was the problem. I was like, wait, that's me. Yeah. So yeah, just from a small town, very kind of sheltered, but yeah, broke out.
That's awesome. So you said your mom single-handedly was the one that like kind of supported y'all and brought y'all here and was like, hey, we're going to do this. We're going to go on an adventure. Yeah. So at what age did you make the move? I think I was 13. Okay. I moved 14. Like I was starting 9th grade. So you were starting 9th grade? Mm-hmm. You're 13 or 14 in 9th grade?
Yeah. I know.
I don't know why that just hit me like a truck.
Because if you think about it, then like 4 years later, you're like 18. So 14, 15, 16, 17.
Yeah. But it's like, it's still a big mental jump for me to be like, I was in high school almost 10 years ago.
Yeah. Can we not talk about that? I know.
You know what? But then that's on growth because then I think about who I was at 18 and then I think about who I am now and I'm like, okay, that is a crazy difference. Yeah. But still at the same time, it feels like I just like pulled in my senior year in the parking lot like 2 years ago.
Yeah. I'm like, who gave me a job?
Who gave me a job? Literally.
Yeah. Who gave me a husband? Who gave me a house? Like,
who gave me dogs? Mortgages?
Yeah.
Vows? Crazy.
I know.
Okay, so let's throw it back. You said you were 13 when you moved. So let's do pre-move and post-move.
Yeah.
Pre-move. Yeah. What did you want to be when you got older?
Oh my gosh. Is it an acceptable answer to say like I honestly didn't know? Yeah. I would say that I didn't dream a lot when I was younger. Okay. I think I was probably preoccupied with whatever like responsibilities I had when I was younger. And so I really just didn't quite honestly know what was out there. Yeah. I think like I wasn't really thinking of myself as like what I wanted to do. I didn't really have a singular passion, I would say. Okay. You know, so you're like, it's hard to try and say, this is what I want to pursue. Yeah. Because one, I just honestly wasn't giving a lot of thought to it, whether it be because no one was asking me or maybe because I didn't feel like I had the time to. Yeah. But then also, I just didn't know what the options were. Yeah. Like career days, like doctor, firefighter, you know? Yeah. And so you're like...
A vet. Yeah. Everyone and their mom wanted to be a vet.
Oh my gosh. And then now you're like, oh, I don't even know.
I'm a coordinator of the most niche thing you've ever heard in your life. Yeah. And you're like, that's a job?
You're like, okay.
All right.
Great. And also social media was starting to become a thing when we were that young. So it's like... I just I wasn't exposed to it, really.
That's
so
fair.
I would say pre-move, did not know.
Okay.
And I would say post-move,
World got a little bigger.
world did get a little bigger. And I would probably say it was medical affiliated. So
Okay.
I would say more of a physician in some way.
Okay.
And then we can probably talk about, like, that did lead me to go and become a biology major to, like, undergrad.
Exactly.
Figuring out what the track was to get your medical license or, like, become a doctor or a DO or a PA, whatever. And so that was probably, maybe it was easy for me. That was an easy answer because my mom was a nurse, and most of my family somehow, they're like, one's a dentist and then one's a nurse and then others an x-ray tech. So it's just naturally around that vocation. So
yeah, I was literally just gonna ask. I was like, do you think that's because your mom was a nurse and you were, like, exposed to it so early?
Probably. And because, like, we had such high, I mean, like any other family, right? Like, you had such high achievers, but more like held value in excelling in something. And, like, and so for me, I naturally made good grades. Like, I didn't really struggle in school to learn. Like, and my sister had a harder time.
Okay.
But it's like, okay, well, who do people become that are good at school? And you're like, oh, you know what I mean? And so naturally I was like, okay, I guess a doctor. Like, I feel like I'm smart. And so, like, growing up, you associate all of those sciencey jobs with
doctor.
Good. And good at school. So I think I just naturally fell into the current of that. But
so was science your favorite subject?
I think math was.
Math.
Like, I was good at bio. I would like biology. And I had an interest in psychology getting to college. So you're like, ooh, what's this?
Yeah.
It's like, tell me you had trauma as a child without telling me.
Girl.
And you're like, and it's like all the psychology majors just, like, stand up.
Exactly.
Like,
we
show
all
me your
help
psychology
fix
degree.
Because we wish someone would have fixed us.
Yeah. It's like, so.
Fixed.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know what you mean. So, yeah, I would say
math.
Post math. Yeah.
Okay. Like, even from, like, a super early age?
I think that I wouldn't say I was very artistic. And so writing, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to write this story or a page or an essay. And I felt like math, like, you always had a precise answer.
That's so interesting.
You know what I mean? Like, it's either right or wrong.
Yeah.
And so this whole, like, write an essay or write a paragraph, I'm like, can you just tell me, like, what you're, like, maybe I really like debating. Yeah. Because, like, right or wrong, facts and stuff. So I feel like any subject associated with a factual, not like ethereal interpretation. But I did win second place in an art show in high school, so.
Oh, so I guess artistic.
But I will say it's only because I'm, like, trying to match a picture for exactly what I wanted it to be. It's more
because
out
you
of
wanted it to be like a copy paste.
Yeah. It was like a portrait of a photo.
That's so interesting. Do you think that those two things kind of, like, go hand in hand? Like, you wanting, like, those math problems were, like, very straight to the point. There was never, like, subjective. It was always you got it right. Yeah. And then you translate it to art and you're like, well, I'm good at art because it has to be an A+.
Yeah, like, even for my job, I'm over some of the creative elements. I wouldn't say I'm creative as in, like, I'm super visionary and can create, like, this amazing graphic or, like, art. I think I'm just resourceful and I know when something looks good. So it's more like I'm going to continue to work on something until I know it's the product I wanted. Not necessarily, like, if that makes sense. So take it into a decor context. Like, I plan weddings also on the side. Note. And so
hit me up. Or don't.
So it's like, oh, you're so good at that. But really, I just maneuvered a lot of things around until I liked it. Or I knew that it was achieving what I wanted it to, you know? So
that's so interesting.
I know.
Because I think, like, comparing and contrasting, like, I hated math. And well, more importantly, I hated science.
Really?
Hated it because it was so, like, rigid.
Strict, yeah.
And I thrived in English. Like, you gave me a book or you made me write a paper, I was the first one done and I got an A+.
That's
but
good.
then I hated art because they were always like, you want to create this and this and that. It needs to look like this. And I'm not that person. I'm such a generalist.
Yeah.
To where, like, perfectionism
Really?
not my forte. Like,
I'm like, we've
not
met
my
each other's matches.
Literally,
here.
like complete opposite. And growing up, my best friend was similar. And you're kind of thinking, great at math, great at science. Never, like, school came fairly easy to her. Exceptional artist.
Wow, yeah.
Riddle me that. Because I don't think I've ever met somebody else who had those, like, two things that really went hand in hand.
I think maybe it's becoming of, like, what makes an exceptional artist? I feel like sometimes it's subjective,
100%.
But to be fair, it's like beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Like, if no one else thinks it's beautiful, then is it,
Exactly.
So I think naturally I just follow rules that make it that then the end product is beautiful, if that makes sense. Like,
no, 100%.
Okay, the rule of threes. If you have three things together, it's gonna look more pleasing than one. So it's like somehow I'm doing math while being artistic, and it comes out, and it's like, here we are.
That's so cool, because I'm not a good artist at all, but when I have done art in my life, not once have I ever thought three things would look better together than just one. I've been like, I put the one thing there and I try to make it pretty and try to make it prettier, and then it's just like, this looks
like,
ugly, and then it all looks ugly. I'm not trying to do math. I'm just like trying to take something that's up here and put it here, and it's not translating.
It's not computing.
No, it's like 1 + 1 is 5 at this point. So I think just that general viewpoint of like how the differences in like the brain and how that shows into school or art or whatever. I think it is crazy, because I did hear, I think it's Simon Sinek, who was talking about how most of the things that we end up doing in adulthood are things that you liked doing as children. And I feel the older I get, the more true that reigns. And the more things that like I disliked as a kid or didn't really take an interest in, maybe didn't dislike, but just was never interested in, I've tried now as an adult and been like, that's not for me. And everything that has clicked has been something that I was like, oh, I
used to like that.
I used to like that. I used to like that a lot. So I think jumping into that, because you said, going into like you wanted to be a doctor and all that kind of stuff. And you said there were never really any hobbies that like you clicked with as a kid. Is there anything that you remember doing as a child that you did enjoy? Whether that's like, goodness, painting, or whether it's like, I don't know, talking.
Well, I will say, like, I grew up in a split home. So I was either at my dad's house with my brother or my mom's house with my sisters. So very feminine house and then very masculine house.
Diversity.
Yep. And so at my dad's house, gosh, we were always outside, always doing like, I don't think we spent a ton of time inside. So I always liked being outdoors, which I find that now. I'm like, can I just go in for a walk? Like, I love to do that. And I feel like they challenged me because we were very competitive.
Okay.
And so then naturally I like sports. I like to do things that I like game nights. I like competitive being like trying to win, And then for my mom's, like, I was the oldest, and so I think, our family dynamic, we just had a lot of inconsistency with like schedules and like when my mom traveling, and so a lot of it came with a lot of responsibility for me, I think. So I didn't have a lot of personal time, we'll say. So I had enjoyment of getting tasks done, to be honest.
Like the productiveness.
So,
checking it off a list.
Like, did my sisters do their homework? Did I do our chores? And so that was kind of checking it off, made me feel validated, almost like controlling a little. So I still fight that a little today of like, things are okay. You can rest.
Such good timing. I literally posted this thing on TikTok yesterday. And I was like, your value is not based on how productive you were today.
Good.
Like, you are just as valuable
not doing anything
your least productive days that you are on your most productive days. Because I'm very similar in that boat, to where it's like, if I am not productive that day, I feel worthless. Not worthless, but like,
your self-talk is a lot worse.
I'm like, what am I even doing with my life? Like, what is my purpose? I just rested. That's all your girl was doing. And so I think that like mindset, I think is really hard to get out of, especially, you know, when you grow up with that.
Yeah.
Which I think responsibility in some sense is good. I think I relate to you in the fact that like from a very young age, I had a ton of responsibility.
Yeah.
Whether it was like healthy or not, you know, some of it was not put on from parents. I think some of it is naturally taken on, like especially the emotional responsibility. But I think when you're so young and there's so much responsibility taken on, it's hard to grow up and not feel like there's value attached to that.
100%. Because it's almost like well, you were doing it out of necessity before, and now it's a coping mechanism. So it's like I sit down and I'm like, wait, I feel uncomfortable. Like my most comfortable state is doing something.
Yeah.
You know?
When you're busy. I agree. Yeah. I think my best days when I'm the happiest are when I have 12 things, the whole day scheduled out. I'm going from one thing to another thing to another thing. That's like my favorite day.
Yeah.
But when I just like have a day to where I just have to sit and chill by myself, let's preface by myself.
Yeah.
I'm like,
not on vacation, not in an environment where it's like welcomed,
acceptable.
Or like,
yeah. Or it's like, you know, I don't know, like drilled into your head like you go on vacation, you relax.
Yeah.
It's like, no, at home, I have nothing to do this day, no one to see, I'm home alone.
Yeah. Which also, too, I recognize that societally, when you see someone, you're saying, what did you do? What are you doing? Instead of, I mean, to an extent, there are the how are yous.
Yeah.
But I would say most of the time when you're interacting, it has been, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are you doing? Yeah. What are you, what, WID? What are you doing?
That's so good to bring to the forefront of the brain, because I feel like that does need to be swapped. I think I'm even guilty of it all the time.
Yeah, like,
I think you walked in my house and I said, what have you done today?
Yeah. I'm like,
what did you do?
Yeah. And you just want to be curious about what's going on in others' lives.
Yeah.
But also, it's like, should I have been doing it? You do feel bad when you're like, oh, it's just at home.
Literally. Even, you know? Even when Dane, my husband, will come home and he's like, worked all day. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't work an average 9 to 5. Right. Like, I don't. And I'll like list off the things I did and I'm like pale. Like, it's very... Yeah. It's uncomfortable. Yeah. Because then I'm like, oh, like you just worked so hard all day.
Like, what am I bringing to the table?
Provider. Yeah. But like, I'm not bringing enough to the table. I'm not matching what you're matching. Yeah. Nor
do you have to.
But I don't have to.
So good.
Wild.
Yeah.
How do you think, like, as a kid, did you like the responsibility? Or did you, what's the word? Like,
how would I say?
Rebel against it?
I honestly didn't rebel against it. I prided myself in it. Okay. And I know that kind of sounds odd, but I was proud of what I was doing. I didn't necessarily want to. Like, I think there were times where I had to maybe put myself aside for those responsibilities. And so those were more so the times where I was like, why me? Like, I don't want this.
Yeah.
However, I think definitely would not have matured or gotten to this place, or my attitude, or my like some of my biggest strengths, or my empathy, if I hadn't done that. So
I mean, it forces you to grow up faster.
Yeah. But
at the same time, it's like you're also a kid.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's not, I look back on it and I'm like, how would I have chosen it if the options were presented? Probably not.
But am I mad it happened?
Yeah, no, because I'm like,
because I am who I am.
Suffering like produced my character.
Yeah,
and I'm proud of my character now. You know. Yeah. So I don't regret it in any way, and I don't really hold any kind of like, I hated my childhood. Not really. I just acknowledge that I am the way I am because I was put in an environment where I needed to show up. You know. So.
Yeah. I also think there needs to be some acknowledgement for that as well, because I think nowadays, especially with the older generation looking at the younger generation, it's a constant, you guys don't do anything, you're lazy, you don't have any responsibility, you need to buck up, rub some dirt in it.
Yeah.
And I think there's like a part of me that like does identify with some of that and does identify with the other. I think because of growing up with so much responsibility, there is that mindset of like, I turned out fine and I had a lot of responsibility. Do I necessarily want you to go through that? No.
Yeah.
Do I think it did me good? Yes.
Yeah.
But I think also recognizing that the kids nowadays, I feel like it's more of like a mental toll than a physical toll. Like,
yeah.
I think even you were saying back in Mississippi when you were growing up, like we weren't aware of our options.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Whereas now it's just like so overload all the time. Like you have every option in the world right at your fingertips.
Yeah.
And I think as a child that would have run me dry.
100%. It's like, if you're provided with over 4 options, you don't choose anything. Like it's like paralysis of
decision paralysis.
Yeah.
100%.
Because you're like, I don't know now.
I mean, especially if you're diving into like neurodivergent people, like anyone who's neurodivergent, like you give them more than 4 options, it's like freeze mode.
Oh, I know.
Like I can't tell you how many times at a restaurant they'll make me something and be like, oh, we made it wrong. Like I was in Publix, I was getting pub sub, and I got to the end of it and they were like, we made this completely wrong. And she was like, do you want us to remake it, or do you want to keep this one, or do you want to add more? I looked at Dane and I was like,
too many options.
None of the above.
Yeah. Can
I run away? And I just like, I empathize so much with the kids nowadays. Because even as an adult, I struggle with it.
Yeah, agreed.
But as a kid, I can't imagine the kind of mental toll that would have taken on me. Yeah. And I think there needs to be a lot of acknowledgement for that.
Yes, 100%. Well, also too, I really struggle when older generations say, well, it was when I was your age. I'm like, we didn't even have the same society as we did when you were my age. Yeah. Similar with, I'm like such a crunchy person. I know that you can probably relate to, is like I ate it when I was a kid. I'm like, okay. I'm like,
there's not a phrase in this world I think that could
the cheese
grind
that
my
you
gears.
were eating had real cheese.
Yeah. Let's talk about the McDonald's. You had beef tallow.
Yeah.
We have corn oil. Yeah. And palm oil.
Yeah. So
not the same thing.
Agreed.
And I think, I mean, you just can't compare the two.
Agreed.
Like you just cannot.
There's too many external factors to say that it was the same environment, the same challenges.
100%.
Yeah.
And I also think, comparison is the thief of joy.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And I think some older folks need that shoved right in their face when they say that phrase.
Yeah.
Because like, you've never grown up in this generation. You will never know. Yeah. You will never understand until you try to put yourself in their shoes. Right. Until you've tried to empathize enough. And right now with that phrase, there's no empathy behind that. There's none. Zero.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah. And it's like what their generation, I would say just millennials, they were raised by boomers. Yeah. And it's like boomers is like peace. In my view, it's very much like love, peace, like acceptance.
That's what they grew up with.
Right.
70s.
And then you have the millennials that are just like rub some dirt on it and like do it. And my mom was whatever the in between is.
Gen Y? Is it Gen Y, I think?
Something like that. She was born in, I hate to say it, Mom. She was born in 74.
Okay, yeah. That's when my parents were born too.
Yeah. Yeah. And so she's like, but she grew up on a farm and like you could see through the floor of her house. So she's very like homegrown, grew up at 5, like woke up at 5 a.m., went to look at count the cows. Yeah. So you're like, can I really use her an example? Yeah. Probably not.
That's how my parents were too. So I truly don't know if they would be a good example either. But
look at us. We're like, they similarly were like, we're going to do it. And we both have been raised in that, all right, we're doing this, like hard work. Yeah. Not like the gentle parenting style.
I feel like there's just a balance in everything, you know? There just is such a balance in everything because like my kid, you can bet your bottom dollar. I mean, I'm saying this also, moms, dads, don't get mad at me. I don't have kids, okay? I'm not there.
Just 2 dogs.
Can't really say just 2 dogs. But like, I'm going to find that balance. Like you won't catch my kid dead screaming in a supermarket at the top of their lungs.
Yes.
But at the same time, like, I'm not going to take my kid's butt out in the middle of Walmart and smack it, you know? Like,
what do you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, there's a balance there. But I just feel like nowadays it's just so far one way, so far the other. There's no acceptance for the in between.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like 3/4 of us hit the in between of everything.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay.
So good.
Before we keep rabbit holing, whatever it is, what we're talking about, let's get back to day one. So, unsure of what we want to do, maybe doctor.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you're in high school.
Yeah.
And that delved all the way through high school?
Yeah, I would say so. Well, quite honestly, I feel like I was always battling my identity. Like, now I can say that because I've processed a lot of that. And I did struggle a lot with anxiety, which is a whole nother thing. Mm-hmm. And a lot of it was I was not ever sure of myself. So I'm really, and I always thought that I was an exception. So never really thought that I would make it all the way, or somehow that it would be removed from me, or the opportunity just wasn't met. And then, I mean, there were a lot of things in my life that maybe played into that narrative that I was believing.
Yeah.
But it led me to a place of, like, even when it came time to apply to colleges, I was like, should I be applying to colleges? You know, like, I wasn't really sure of where I was going to go.
That's fair.
And I think because of that, I kind of estimated my ability. I really did not try my hardest. And I think
in school or just like in general?
I would say in general, but mostly like with opportunities. I think I always just assumed I wouldn't be that person. So
Gotcha.
That person that graduated college, that person that got married, that person that, like, all of the, maybe the life cycle steps, which is such a lie. However, I was still believing that. And so in high school, I'm applying to colleges, and I never really identified with, like, one place. I never really was. Quite honestly, I came to Charlotte because I knew my friend was going to come here too. Fair. And because I was getting academic scholarships. So it wasn't like, oh my gosh, I love NC State or Chapel Hill, or like, I want to be a part of this community. Quite honestly, I was just like, why not Charlotte? Like, it just made sense. But I wasn't passionate about one area. And so, call it what you want. Like, I came with one of my good friends at the time. We roomed all 4 years together. We roomed with each other.
That's awesome.
She's in my wedding. Still love her. Another, also one of my very close friends. We're kind of like we were a trio. And, like, she also came, and we all became friends through the whole 4-year cycle. And that was amazing. However, was it something that I knew? And it was funny because I chose my major, biology, because I'm like, I mean, I'm here. Yeah. I always, like, in the back of the only thing I've ever entertained was being a doctor. So I'm like, it just seems like, could it go wrong here? You know, like, let's just do it.
And I feel like also, like you said, sorry to interject, but you said, like, school has always been something that's, like, easy to you. So it's like, there was not a thought in your mind that was like, I'm going to make my major biology. This is going to be hard.
No, yeah.
It was just like, I'm picking biology because this is what I've always said I'm going to do with my life. Yeah. And let's do it.
But did I have, like, the same, like, was I, okay, and then I need to be following internships. Like, in high school, I got my medical coding and billing license. You know, you can be you can do dual enrollment for, like, a community college. So I got that. I was like, oh, that's going to look good on my app, you know. On my
college application.
I know. And for medical school, because I was like, I'm showing that I've had interest in this since high school.
Baby.
Yeah. I'm like, I got my medical coding and billing license. Like, eat that.
Girl, I don't even know what that is, but I'm proud of you for doing that.
Yeah. Got my CNA, which is, like, bedside.
Yeah.
Because also my friends were going to be nurses. Like, they decided they were going to be nurses. And so we all got our CNA together. And I was like, I knew I needed to do it, but I was not taking initiative in my life because I just wasn't confident. I really wasn't. at a place where I knew exactly this is what I was going to do. I still had interest. I knew what I was good at. And right, everyone's telling you, do what you're good at. Or do what, you know what I mean? Do what makes you money, you know?
The worst.
Yeah.
I think the worst mindset to have. True.
Right. Yeah.
But we're taught it forever.
Right. And so that kind of led me to a place where I really still was lacking confidence. I had a lot of anxiety because I was like, I had this overwhelming feeling that I was somehow missing what I was supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Or how like time was flying by too fast for my brain to really like make decisions.
Yeah.
And so I would get into like panic attacks, so much so that like I developed IBS. I was like, and I was going to doctors and they were like, just go on a FODMAP diet. And yeah. I'm like, you guys are really like making me not want to join the medical field, by the way.
Truly.
Yes.
Truly.
Or maybe vice versa, I did because I wanted to make it better than what you guys were doing.
That's fair. I feel like there's two roads it goes. One, you're like I have had bad experiences, I don't want to be associated, or I've had bad experiences and I need to make this place better.
Yeah. So
it's like that dreamer mentality.
And of course COVID hit, which is a whole like stay at home, like you're questioning life. You're like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
So I ended up, sticking it out. I developed an interest in psychology. And I mean, probably because I was so curious about my own mental health that I was like, I'm picking this up.
Yeah.
So minored in that and then graduated with my biology major and psychology minor. And I was thinking, will I be a therapist now? Like I really truly was still graduating college, still unsure. And you're like, you pay all this money, which I wouldn't necessarily advise anyone to go to college if they don't really know.
That's fair. But I feel like in our generation, everyone was just told to do it.
Yeah.
Like now there's that whole concept of like, if you don't know what you're going to do, or you like have no clue, even the possible area that you want to go into. Okay. Take a gap year.
Yeah.
When we were graduating high school, it was like, you go to college
option. It was like junior year, get your college option.
Exactly. It was like, you're going to college. But I think similarly to how you felt when you graduated college and you were like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Same.
Yeah.
I think like, I want to say like maybe 70%. That's like a wild guess for me. But like, I don't think I know more than the people I could count on two hands that knew exactly what they were going to do after college.
Yeah.
I think I knew more people that were just as confused, still are, let's be real, about what they're doing with their lives. I think we were all more sure when we were 8 or 15 than we are now. And I think it truly is just that like overwhelming, we can do anything, pulled at so many different directions.
Yeah.
But if I just like, honestly, I would love to just sit down with God and be like, can you just tell me my skills?
Oh my gosh, yes. I've done that. I've been like, can you just tell me what you created me to do?
Literally.
Like, why did you allow me to go through all of this? Can you just highlight what I'm supposed to be doing? And he's shown up in different ways, but
So how did that feel, like graduating college and not being sure?
Well, I think at that point, I guess it's a good time to say that during that time, during COVID, I started dating my now husband, Ethan, and we were honestly questioning like what our beliefs were simultaneously. And really, we were like, I grew up in a Christian environment. I grew up in a Baptist church, and I definitely knew I believed in God. What does that mean? You know? Yeah. And so naturally we dived into a church, which is now the one that we work for.
Y'all really hit the nail on the head with that one. Okay, let's be real. Most people go to like 20 different churches before they find one they like.
Yeah. And so
y'all just...
Yes. And we started attending together, naturally rededicating our life to our newfound faith. I'm still struggling with anxiety, but also Ethan at the time was struggling with like, wow, I have been doing soccer my whole life. I've been pursuing a professional career in this. And so we're very different places, but still like dedicated to what is our belief system. Like, what are we going to build our life on? And yeah, I rededicated whatever that means to you. To me, it meant, no, I don't know if I knew that I believed before. And I would actually say that I was saved back in like 6th grade, 7th grade. Because I remember that moment. But yeah, I like the prodigal son falling away and then coming back. And I was definitely living a lukewarm life. Did feel convicted a lot, which I can now look back and be like, oh, I was feeling conviction, but I was not repenting or changing in any way.
But I also wasn't aware of what that was.
Yes.
I remember multiple times as a child, because similarly, I accepted God in my life when I was like 6.
Yeah.
I remember multiple times having that feeling of like, I think as a kid, I was just start crying because I was like, I don't know what this is.
Yeah.
But I feel bad. And you don't have that emotional regulation or that wisdom to know.
Like the words to your feelings.
Yeah.
So good. So then I'm in this place where I'm finishing my last year and a half of college. COVID is like starting to wean off a little. Yeah. Meaning we're starting to like step by step get closer to it than life we once had. So I started I just became so hungry and thirsty. And I was just like, I want to sit and learn about the Bible all day long. And so I just started serving at the church so frequently that I then learned that they did an internship. I did the internship for a year. I was really just trying to like learn. And then through that, I was praying, like, the internship ended and I was also graduating. So it was a very natural progression of like, wow, I've culminated to internship, graduation, into now I am at the church with whom a good friend of mine now, who was I would say a mentor to me. And so she ends up becoming pregnant and has always been like, which she's always prayed like, God, let it be your timing. And so 5 years after marriage and being together and just figuring out like, I don't know when it's going to happen, but God's got it. It just so happened to be the same time that I was graduating. And so I was praying a lot about, do I pursue, like I got MCAT books to study. I really got to the point of like scheduling my MCAT test. Yeah. To then making the decision, why am I doing it? Like, do I even want to become this? Yeah. And then matching that with the desire I had to learn more about my faith. I was like, oh my gosh. And so I'm praying like, help me. Like, can you please just help me? Because to some degree, I think sometimes we over spiritualize, like, God, tell me everything you want me to do. It's like, he gives you free will as well. Yeah. And so you're like, okay, I feel like if it's not against his word and both could glorify God. Yeah. What do you want to do? Yeah. Like make the decision in your heart and then become a good steward. And so I was like, okay, I'm praying about it. And I was like, okay, I need to support myself. I can't just do this for free and not have a job.
We have to pay the bills.
Yeah. So she ends up becoming pregnant, and then so did her other staff member, like on the team. And so they both have their babies, and she's like, I'm going to be a stay-at-home mom. Like, I feel called to be a stay-at-home mom. Wow. And they offered me, like, I didn't interview. They offered me her job. And I was like, well, I guess, yeah. I'm like, I have a desire. Yeah. And I mean, I had learned so much up to that point. I was like, I'll just do it. I'm going to do it. I did pray about it, but let's just be honest, I was excited. Yeah. And I had grown so much over that like year and a half that I was like, I'm going to take it. And so that's where we've been, kind of. I've grown, and that role has shaped and shifted, and I've been given opportunities through a leadership perspective, but then also I don't know how else I would have been able to grow in any other job as fast as I have at this job, which I think is crazy because you're just involved in so many like personal lives that I feel like I've just developed this like honestly experience I would have never gained at the speed, which is a loaded sentence.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say could not have ever, but I definitely am miles away from maybe who I was 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think it's been very fruitful.
Mm-hmm.
And Ethan also, similar story in that he graduated, he has a business degree, and he was like, God, by this date, would you just, because he's applying to jobs, he's trying to figure out what he's going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, would you, by like June 1st, could you really just supply a job for me? And he gets a call from the church. He wasn't even looking for a job at the church, first of all. Gets a call randomly on June 1st. Or like, that's the day he was going to have his interview. And it's like, hey, there's a position. And we just keep thinking of you. Like, would you come in? And like, would you be interested in this role? And he's like, and sure enough, he got the job on June 1st. And we've just been, saying yes. And then we're kind of just figuring it out. And he was stepping out. His dream was to be a professional soccer player. And then my dream was just to like figure out who I was.
Yeah.
And so here we are, just here, like in the same season of this is the last thing that we feel like God provided for us, So we're just staying planted and faithful.
The
and
course.
Then, honestly, becoming to dream again.
Mm-hmm.
Like finding out, like this is now a safe environment for us to now dream about what's next.
Yeah. You're to the point now to where it's like, okay, we've been comfortable in this and now we're stable.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like, okay, what is next?
Yeah.
So how does it feel to now like be in a stage to where you can dream again?
It feels good. In relation to our relationship with God or our faith, it definitely puts us back into like a dependent state of like, we want you to be a part of this, and like what is something that you feel like we would be good at, or like what are like could you bless or give us like something that maybe we haven't thought of before.
Yeah.
And so that's been exciting, but also you don't know. So when people ask and they're like, oh, you've been married for 1.5 years, like what's next for you guys? You're like, I don't know. Yeah. And I want to be similar to the resting. It's like I just want to be comfortable to say I don't have my whole life planned out.
Yeah.
And I would rather be that way than, because then if you have a plan and it doesn't go that way, you're disappointed and you're also trying to figure out, okay, well, if it's not that, what is it? And so I'm trying to be more comfortable in the unknown, right? Like just, I'm okay not knowing every single thing. You know?
And I think also as far as like the dreamer aspect part of life, I also feel like that's a tough stage to be in itself, especially when you're trying to align what you want, what God wants, and trying to find like where is that balance of it all, because we do have free will. We can just decide one day to do something differently, but it's like, how do I align my goals with God's goals and make sure that it's like what he has set for me? And especially for someone who is such I want to hear it from someone else, when you're not hearing like, this is the path I have for you. Yeah. That can sometimes be difficult. And I think acknowledging that like, yes, as much as the dreamer phase is exciting because it's like, what is next? It's also hard. Yeah. I would argue that it is harder. Yeah. Because when you're in the phase where you're living it, you're living it. You don't have to answer any questions. But when you're in the dreaming phase, it's like, yet again, back to having everything on our plate. We have every opportunity, every option possible, and now we're trying to hone it down. And when we're not living in the 50s where there's 10 occupational options, how do we narrow it down? Yeah. I would say what's interesting is that, like, we're very much trying to figure out, like, what is something that unique to us that we have a passion for.
that maybe we never really had before, because we do genuinely believe that God will change the desires of your heart to align with the same desires that he might have.
Yeah.
And so, like, our desires have changed independently, but also like what we're doing as a career, but also you know, our personalities also. Yeah. So yeah, we're open-handed, and I think that there is also this tension of, okay, I would say maybe for me, I struggle with procrastination. So then, because I wait for the perfect moment.
Got it.
So naturally, I do similarly want to hear, this is exactly what I want you to do.
Yeah.
But if he was to tell me that, where's the faith?
That's true.
Like, where would I have to believe something that I haven't yet seen?
Yeah.
If he was to tell me it and it came to fruition, you know? So in the same way, we're kind of like, why don't we just show our faith? Like, faith without works is dead. So we're like, okay, what are the works that we're doing of what we're believing for? So I think now in this stage, we're like, what are we believing for? But eventually we're hoping to get to that stage of, we're just going to start taking action.
Yeah.
And then just watch God move in things that we're showing like we're good stewards of. So we're trying not to be, I was listening to a podcast maybe like a week ago, and the guy was like, gosh, this generation, it's like one of three people. You're either like lazy, like how we were saying earlier, like you're just lazy and you're not taking initiative. Yeah. Which to some degree, some people are lazy, whether it be because they are paralysis or not. Like, you're just kind of like, you're not doing anything. Yeah. Then you have the people who were saying, well, what does God want from me? Or they're waiting. But yet it's almost used as a crutch, where it's like, well, I haven't heard anything yet, so I'm not going to do anything. And they were referring back to the parable of the sower, when the master comes back and one person has buried it and we just waited for him to return. Yeah. And he says, wicked and lazy servant. Like, you're wicked and lazy. And so we're like, dang, I don't want to just wait. Yeah. For something to come, which is my natural tendency. Yeah. So
I just got goosebumps a little bit.
Yeah. You're like, I don't want to just sit here and wait. So we're also, that's the tension of decide what you want to do. Yeah. And then do it. Yeah. And then just compare it to, is it biblical? Meaning, I'm not going to go out and have a vocation that directly opposes things that God's doing. Yeah. So I'm not going to go, and I can't think of a good example now, but if it aligns with maybe the character of God or something that I could definitely use to glorify him, then great. Yeah. Do it. You know?
I think adding on to like the different kinds of people that there are too, I think I'm kind of a procrastinator, but once I know what I'm gonna do, I can't stop myself. And I think there's also something to be said for the people that I feel like God is just teaching us patience. Yeah. Because I feel like I've been in a waiting phase on several different points in my life for a lot of my life. Yeah. And I feel like that is kind of what your 20s is for as well. You try things. If it doesn't work out, then you move on. Try things. If it doesn't work out, you move on. I'm so good at finding things that I'm not good at, let me tell you. But trying to find things that I am good at has been a struggle since day one. And I think going back to kind of what you were saying, and kind of like just even your career in general, you know, you found maybe these certain things that have worked or have like worked for the time, but maybe you don't feel are like the end goal. Yeah. And now you're trying to go on this journey of finding what is that end goal? Yeah. Or even is there an end goal? You know, like, is it just a thing for the next 2 years and then I move on? I feel like that's the big overarching question, is everyone puts so much pressure on everyone to figure it out. What are you going to do with your life? People, like, I think the average of different careers that each individual has in their lifetime is like upwards of 6. Yeah. I mean, I've already had 3. Yeah. So at least we've knocked some of those out. But like, that's a lot of career changes for someone to be asking someone, what do you want to do with your life?
Yeah. And also biblically, if you think about people who didn't even encounter God or start like their ministry, so to speak, until they were like, they're depending on where you are in the Bible, until they were on the back end of their life.
Yes.
And so to try and box someone in, but yeah, I'm like throwing in this caveat of like, also, I feel like our generation is like, okay, I'm going to spend it here for 2 years. If they're not giving me what I want, I'm going to move.
Yeah.
If they're not giving me what I want, I'm going to move. And it's like, where's the faithfulness in that? Where's like the building?
100%.
So, oh my gosh, it's like a whole tangled web.
It is.
Like,
it's really just comes down to discernment.
Yeah.
It really just comes down to like,
very true.
What do you feel?
Yeah.
Not just like, what do you think is easiest?
So
what do you think is right for you?
Like,
and
like what is God leading you in your season?
What is God placing within you?
Yeah. Like, what is this season for?
And I think another thing, like, biblically that I love is from The Chosen. You know the Sons of Thunder?
Yeah.
Their dad? What? Was he like he was like a carpenter?
I think he might have been a fisherman.
Fisherman. He was. Yeah. Duh.
Yeah.
A fisherman originally.
Yeah.
Then he was an oil maker. Like, and he was in like his 40s, 50s.
Yeah.
And he just one day said, I'm going to make olive oil. And had
like,
no clue what he was doing. Let's preface that. Zero clue. He had to go like figure out how he had to go get the mill. He tried out batches that were horrible.
True.
So like, why is there so much pressure to just figure out your one thing?
I don't know.
Because I don't think people are not one size fits all.
Yeah.
At any point in your life.
Yeah. I wonder if it's kind of like trickled down from, I do think about in the 50s, right? Hey, you're going to start here and you're going to build something.
Yeah.
Like, this is something that you're going to be a part of for years. And I feel like, understood, like, faithfulness, but more out of a tradition or...
Yeah.
And so I'm going to stick with something. And also going back to what we were saying earlier about they didn't know all the options. So then naturally they're like, okay, because I'm not enticed to do anything else, I'm going to stick with what I have.
I'm going to stick with my dad and my dad's dad and my dad's dad's dad did.
Yeah. And then here we are. We're like, I think we get inspired. We have the privilege of seeing everything. So now we're like, oh my gosh, it sparks a thought and an idea that we would have never come across had we not been exposed to all the podcasts, all the media that we have now. So it's very interesting.
I think it's like it's a mental battle that I face every single day because yes, at the same time, like, we can be inspired, we can try new things, we can do new things, try new careers, but at the same time in the 50s, they got really good at one thing.
Yeah.
And then they were like the professional at that one thing. And there's like that war that goes on, I feel like, between a lot of people, not just me, where it's like, I want to try this new thing. I want to, find something that fits for me. But at the same time, I want to get to the age of 50 or 60 and be like, I was really good at that one thing.
Yeah.
And I did it.
Yeah. Like, I achieved a lot.
I was successful in the thing that I found worked for me. And as much as I am maternal, I don't want that just one thing to be being a mom. I know I'll be a great mom.
Yeah.
But like, I don't want that to be like my living legacy. Like, I want...
Because then, like, the kids leave. What are you?
Yeah. And not even down to that. I just feel like I'm not to say I'm meant for more, because I don't think that motherhood or being a mom by any means is a small feat. I think it's the biggest feat in the world. And I think it's the hardest job to have. But I just have never felt like that was just it for me.
Yeah. I mean, even if you were to look at Proverbs 31, I know that that's such a quoted, like, scripture.
Yeah. But I mean, it's quoted because it's tried and true.
Yeah, but it's like that description of a woman, like, she is described as being in the marketplace as well as taking care of her household. So you're like, okay, like, the depiction of that is a whole lot more than just a woman at home taking care of kids.
100%.
So to your point, like, I definitely think that you are, like, you shouldn't feel as if motherhood is something that maybe pigeonholes you into that's your identity now. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. And I think my mom, for example, like, from the time that she had kids, she was a stay-at-home mom, and she, like, worked in marketing in a bank before, and it was like, she liked her job, she loved the people she worked with, but like, was she ever passionate about the bank? No. Did she like marketing? Yeah. But like, also marketing in the 80s was physical pieces of paper and billboards.
Yeah, like, can we get in the newspaper?
Yeah, exactly. Which is cool all to say in itself. But anyway, mom was a stay-at-home mom until forever. And when we all kids left, it was like, what's mom gonna do?
Oh, yeah.
And like, my mom keeps herself busy. My mom keeps herself entertained. Like, she's fine. Like, she thrives and she loves it. I think I'd go crazy. I think I would genuinely go crazy without like some goal to reach. I need a goal, you know? How do you think that applies to like your career and like your aspirations? Because I know also like you want to have kids at some point.
Yeah.
And so like, what role does that play in for you?
I feel like the challenge is definitely feeling like I don't want my identity to be tied into what I do. More rather like who I am. And we've kind of talked about that before. So I'm like, I don't want the most important thing about me to be what I do.
My job.
Yeah. So I would rather like be more focused on like, am I pleased with myself based on like, of course, my relationship with God, getting past that. How am I impacting people's lives? So if there is a season where I am a stay-at-home mom, but I'm still impacting people's lives, I feel fulfilled.
100%.
But if I'm a stay-at-home mom and I have no interaction with anyone, okay, I'm missing the mark in my eyes. Like, if my goal would be to still steward a community of people in 100%. My life that, you know, despite what I do. However, to your point, I think there will be a place or a time when I do want to build something. And I think Ethan and I share that desire. We want to build something to be proud of. And in some ways we are doing that now. Like, we're helping build God's church, and I mean, everyone should be doing that. Not at necessarily in the same avenue, but to a degree you're building the church, like the group of people. And so I think we're just trying to figure out, okay, what does that look like for us coming soon? Or what does that look like for our family? And we have had those conversations of what would success look like? What will be our family values? Because we would love the idea of being like, okay, our family, we want to be known for these 3 things. And we've talked about those, and it's like, okay, well, if our family is doing that, we would make all decisions based on those things. And I think that would probably give us that purpose despite whatever season. So then if it's not attached to a job or like an amount of money made or not like anything like that, then okay, then we understand that we're making the mark, or we have a purpose that supersedes maybe what we do or where we are, or etc. So
I like that phrase, making the mark.
Yeah.
Because I think me and probably several other people find a lot of value in like what we're producing and what we're bringing in. And I know we've even talked a lot about that as well, and really tying your value to that. And I think it does take time and it does take work to unravel those two. And I think just being able to separate those, like what you're just talking about, and finding value in so many other things besides just
what do you do?
A job.
Yeah. And I think societally, like I've even experienced it where it's like, what do you do?
I was just about to say that. I was literally just about to say that.
I'm like, I work for a church. They're like, oh.
Yeah.
They're like, are you okay? Like, are you supporting yourself? I'm like, I'm doing great.
Yeah.
Like, it is definitely like,
it's a stereotype.
The negative connotation of if you're not making enough money, then somehow your life is like enough money being
always climbing a ladder.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then somehow you're like deemed, which maybe not intentionally.
Yeah.
but the stereotype of like, oh, are you okay?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, but I have family members who are in medical school, and it's like, it's so quick to be like, they're doing this, and you're like, cool.
Yeah.
I'm not envious. I'm not jealous.
Yeah.
I feel completely comfortable where I am, and I don't feel the need to climb a ladder. I mean, I feel like the urge to build something, but
yeah,
I'm not driven by the money.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
At all. And I mean, don't get me wrong, like I would love to be financially free.
Yeah.
But that's different. I think having a driving force behind you, and I think that also comes with having Christ at the center of your life. It's like we no longer drive for that. Of course it's nice. Of course it's there, but like I think there's that feeling of God's got it. He'll take care of it.
Yeah.
And that opens doors. That gives so much freedom towards just being like, okay, what am I meant to do then? But to your point, I think that exterior pressure is something that everyone feels.
Yeah.
At some point in your life, whether you're going to college, whether you're in high school, whether you're 6 years old and people are asking you what you want to do when you grow up, I think we need to annihilate that question entirely at all points of your life.
Maybe it should rather be like, how are you going to impact the world? How are you? Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. And then also like the immediacy of asking someone, what do you do for work right after you meet them? Annihilate it. Annihilate it.
You're done. You're done.
Murdered. Questions 6 foot under. Okay. Because I could not hate that question more. Because if you asked me that question, I'd have 5 answers for you.
Yeah. Which I think the desire is to be relatable. Like someone's trying to relate to you.
Yeah. Which I get the purpose.
Yeah.
But it's a driven question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
I think it needs to just be like,
what's going on in your life?
Yeah. Exactly.
Or what are you
generalized?
What are you guys
a bit
focused
more
on in the season? Or something like that.
Yeah.
So good.
I
Make
know.
that a movement, everyone.
Yeah.
Make that
Very
a change in your life.
What's your job question?
Yeah.
The worst. Okay, cool. Well, I think to just like fold it all together.
Yeah.
You're talking about you and Ethan dreaming.
Yeah.
Have any dreams yet?
I know. Do we?
Still sitting with it.
I'm like, how would I say? I feel like we're actually going and spending some time with just like figuring out what those goals are. Goals, dreams, planting seeds of that. And of course there's like small, like we're in a stage, it's very new, like new as in like less than a year. So we're very trying to be patient, but one of those goals is like identifying our dreams is we want a big family, like at least 4 kids or 4. I mean, like Lord willing, and if my mental and physical body can handle that many kids. You're one of 4, right? Yeah. So,
and we also want to have like 3 or 4 kids. So I get it. But like I've always said, just as a precautionary measure, I'm pushing 2 out and we'll adopt 2. If we get to the point where we have to, and then we want to have 2 more.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm setting the bar low.
Yeah.
Okay. Not low, because adoption isn't low.
I feel like I always preface. I'm like, in my current ignorant state.
Yeah.
I would like 4 kids.
I would like multiple children, but then you have 2, and you're like, oh my god.
Yeah.
But my dad always used to say, after the second one,
it's like the same.
It all blurs.
Yeah.
It's like having 2 dogs. 1 dog, super easy. 2 dogs, it's a lot. 3 dogs,
you're like, it's the same.
It's already the chaos.
Yeah. Yeah. So one of those is definitely like familial. When it comes to like different things, we're learning more and more that help when we're more planted and planting seeds that like help further whatever God's doing in other people's lives. We see that return on our life. And so the season really is more about like planting those seeds, helping other people build their dream, and then see God doing that for us. It's almost like biblically being a good steward, you can be entrusted with more. So if I'm generous with what he's been given, he'll be able to it's almost like my heart is being like
yeah.
tilled every time I do that, to where now I'm able to receive a larger blessing and steward it well. It's like, if you're faithful with little, you'll be faithful with much.
Yeah.
So we're just trying to be faithful with little, and then we're gonna see how much we can carry, and then
That's
eventually,
awesome.
if that's a lot, great. And if so I think we're just trying to remain in that same posture of generosity, and that is like with time. It doesn't always have to be money, like time, talent, treasure. So just in any way, like the more that we can be generous, then I feel like the more we're like checking our heart, and then I think the more and we've seen that where I haven't done anything but give, and I've just received, and it's just been nice because you don't really work for it. I'm refreshed to do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just in a cycle of whatever that looks like. Yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
Well,
thanks for coming on, Miss Alex.
Thank you for having me. This is such a great conversation. So.
I know. I'm happy you were the first guest.
I know.
Well, come back for the next episode. Don't know how I close this yet, but see you next time.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.